Good morning, everybody. Shanda, take it away.
Good morning, divers, and welcome to a election hangover edition of Women's Wednesday. We got a couple of honorary women with us. We got Graham Elwood, the political vigilante, joining us, and of course, Oz, the man behind the curtain. Welcome. How is everybody this morning?
Tired.
Good. It's wonderful to be an honorary woman today.
I was wondering if Darianne was going to show up, or I just didn't know.
Granny Gasoline.
Granny Gasoline.
Granny Gasoline.
Shave your knuckles for justice. We love that. We love
Yes,
that.
shave your knuckles for justice.
Yeah, that is the way to
Boom,
go.
there it is.
Way to go. Shanda, can we kick it off with some perspective from this morning real quick from the
You
Rising?
can, but first I want to shout out to the chat. Say good morning,
Oh yeah,
everybody.
the chat. I should pull up the chat.
And I just want to tell everybody I'm feeling much better. I went down midstream last night, and thank God we had so many showrunners in the room. I just got up and went to bed. So.
I am very happy that you're feeling better, because
Thank you.
That was sad to lose you.
You could see me just drain on screen last night. But I've been in this chair for 11 hours. We're producing so many shows. It just caught up with me. So yeah, I'm feeling better. Let's get the show on the road and talk about this shit show that is continuing on.
Yeah, I have one shout out in particular here. I want to say welcome, Hardlands Mona. Nice to see you there.
She's like, I love Graham.
Yeah, yes. Okay.
We got a lot of fans here. We mentioned you maybe coming on. I invite you, and everyone's like, yes, I love Graham.
Yep. This was from this morning's Rising. This is Crystal Ball, and I think she nails it here. After we run this, it's about 2 minutes, but it's worth a listen. Let's check it out, guys.
Specific bread and butter reasons, like the young voters who are looking at specific issues and policy positions, like the African American community, that no, I'm sorry, just putting a black woman on the ticket is not going to be enough to win over black voters. That's another thing. Last night, Donald Trump way outperformed with African American men, which again is something that the Democratic Party is going to really have to reckon with. But you know what? They're not going to, because ultimately they won. Is probably where things are headed. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Don't dance on anybody's grave yet.
But if they win, they're not going to learn any of these lessons. They're going to say, we won. That's that. Who cares? Water under the bridge. They need to look at the fact, though, of the erosion in the groups that you are talking about, because this trajectory of increasingly whittling down to this more and more affluent, more and more upscale, more and more college-educated group of voters is a losing strategy. Yeah. You are still, look, more people are going to college. That's great. But you are still a country where 2/3 of Americans do not have a 4-year college degree. And if you have nothing to say to them and you're not trying to win them over, you will lose.
Yeah, and God bless them. And you know, here's the really crazy part. Think about this. You're right. They're not going to learn their lesson, because here's what's going to happen. If the current trends continue, again, want to be clear, nothing official. Trump actually still could win, but a lot would have to go right for him in 4 different states, or in a couple of different states, and that seems relatively unlikely. So that's the framework of which we're talking. Anything could change. But right now, the dynamic looks to be if the Senate GOP is more likely than not to hold the Senate, right? And so that means that Joe Biden could be the next president of the United States. Well, a Senate GOP and Joe Biden means he's not passing anything. There ain't going to be no stimulus. There's not going to be no health care. There's not going to be nothing, which means all that's going to happen is essentially what the Trump last 2 years were, which is cultural signaling via executive order. So you're going to go back into Paris. You're going to get some executive order, which is not even really binding on like the Equality Act or whatever. Like, you're going to get some woke stuff in the Department of Justice. You're not going to get checks. You're certainly not going to get more. They're going to lean into that because that's what their entire infrastructure is built around doing. Truth is, you can't basically do anything dramatically economical in this country without the U.S. Senate. Senate, I can tell you right now, not going to do anything for Joe. They're going to try and tank his presidency. And actually, there's a pretty good chance that would work. If Joe becomes president and McConnell is there in the Senate and he passes nothing and the economy tanks, 2022 midterms, goodbye the House for the Democrats.
Look, I saw a lot of takes that were like, oh, this is so bad for Joe that the Republicans are going to keep control of the Senate. And I would say the Senate is also undetermined, especially because of the 2 races down in Georgia. Democrats have about the same chance of taking the Senate as Donald Trump has of winning.
Putting me to sleep with that shit this morning, Oz.
Yeah, it looks like it was almost
No
the
kidding.
wrong cut.
I'm like,
But
That was painful.
yeah, that was painful, and it was obviously cut different. Yeah.
Barbara Bartleson.
Barbara Bartleson.
Like, you guys had a long day yesterday. Well, Shonda definitely had a long day. Mine was long, but not because I was on here.
Yeah, honest to God, I and I think that perspective's pretty much right on. They're not going to do shit.
Yeah,
Grant,
they're not.
Yeah,
Look what they did with Obama.
Yeah.
They set their heels in and did not do a damn thing that would look good for his presidency. But Obama hurt himself, as we know. He did stupid crap while no one was watching.
So what is
Oh, I
your?
want to take a consensus of the room.
Yes.
Where is everybody? I still think Biden is the dirty Dems are gonna try to steal this.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was just watching Fox Business before I came on the show. And according to Fox, Joe Biden has the lead. He has 238 electoral votes to Trump's 213. And the Fox anchor was saying it looks like it's going to go Biden. On their map, they had that Nebraska was going for Biden, which is curious. If Biden wins and the Senate holds as Republican, this is actually exactly what the Democrats would love this, because then they love blaming everything on the obstructionist Republicans. Like that's what Obama did even though he had control of the House.
First he
and
had
Senate.
control, and then he didn't use it, and then he lost the Senate, and then he's screwed. So
then they can just go look, and they're probably, the Democrats are probably doing backflips that Mitch McConnell got reelected, because now they've got their big bad guy. Like McConnell and Pelosi, you got to understand, are very critical for both parties' fundraising. Each party needs this bad wrestling character to sell tickets. Basically, it's the same model of professional wrestling. Like we need a villain, and the villain's coming to town, and we got to beat the villain. And so, this keeps this utterly corrupt duopoly, which are basically just the puppets of the ruling class. And yeah, I agree with what Sager was saying. If Biden wins, and this is why I said I would not vote for any corporate Democrat, because if they win, it'll just be all these little, they'll do these little Band-Aids, these little, token gestures. They'll say, all of Trump's deregulation, they'll put some of it back in place and go, see, we fixed it, and they'll go, we're going to save Roe v. Wade, even though the Democratic Party has allowed the Supreme Court to become more conservative. So it just plays right into this stupid two-party system. We need an opposition party. I mean, if Trump loses, great. I'll be happy that Trump lost. He lost. But then, great. The guy that beat him is not for Medicare for all. It's not for.
He said he would veto it if it came onto his desk.
And the thing is you see these two parties. I mean, you watch their conventions and you watch the debates, and they were fighting over, as they said, and Crystal Ball makes a valid point of, they're fighting over like wealthy white suburban people. And
Exactly.
I mean, the thing you got to look at in terms of what the American people want, they were offered these two horrific choices, right? Fracking with science, fracking without science, like the lesser of two rapists. Those were basically our choices, like the woman that as VP that put 100,000 black men behind bars, or a guy that wants to outlaw, lunch with women or whatever. We have these insane, the Republican Party has become so right-wing and fascist. The Democratic Party is now the Republican Party of probably 20, 30 years ago. So, but you got to look at some stuff that happened locally. So the state of Florida passed Medicare, overwhelmingly $15 an hour minimum wage.
I know. I saw that. Yeah. We've got that. We've got a story about that. Yeah.
Which tells you this is what the American people want policy. Fox News released yesterday a poll of Fox News viewers. 72% of them want Medicare for all.
Yeah.
So we need an opposition party. You cannot reform the Democratic Party from within.
Nope.
And, there's going to be Republicans in Joe Biden's cabinet. He's already said that. I mean, Obama's cabinet was picked by Citibank. So there's going to be no, here's what's going to change. Joe Biden's not going to tweet offensive stuff. So America can go back to sleep and not know about all the countries we're bombing and sanctioning in the middle of a pandemic. He'll do a couple little fixes for COVID that might actually go, okay, maybe, all right. And we'll go, yay. And the brunch, Vote Any Blue will do brunch crowd will go the fuck back to sleep, excuse my language. And it's just more evidence we need an opposition party. There is no opposition.
Absolutely.
I agree so much. Hey, Dems, the 90s called. They want their conservatives back.
Yeah, kidding. No kidding. And I mean, really, do you think that the Trump supporters are just going to roll over and say, oh, well, Biden
we lost.
won?
Yeah.
They're pretty aggressive, and I really don't think they're just going to shut up about it. I don't think they're ever going to accept a Biden win, especially being as close as it is.
But what can they do? Biden will control the police state, so they'll just crush whatever opposition they have in the streets, like they have to Antifa and Black Lives Matter, and it'll be what it'll be. So I don't think that they have as much power as they think they do on the streets.
Who knows? But I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Is the Trump supporters that are going to take to the streets are going to see how much of a fascist state we are already living.
Yes.
They're going to
maybe, yes. That might be a silver lining right there.
And I think there's America's like a bunch of addicts, and addicts need to hit rock bottom before they get sober. Some addicts hit rock bottom and then die, and they never get sober. So I think what the Trump supporters are going to see is, oh, wow, we're getting snatched up in unmarked vans, just like they were doing to white liberals in Portland. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's not so cool now.
And I think this is the opportunity for an opposition party that focuses on labor, because right now the media, the ruling class, has done a very effective job at thinking people are in a race war. You watch Fox News and conservative outlets, those white Trump supporter people, they think they're under attack. They think Antifa and Black Lives Matter are coming for them.
That's so crazy. I don't get that.
My
own family feels that way, and I'm like, how I was I raised in the same place as you? Because I don't see that.
You see how powerful the propaganda machine is. So that's what they're told. The liberals are told, Russia. They're still pushing that Russia's might be, like I was watching CBS yesterday, and they just said, as a matter of fact, we know Russia hacked in 2016 the election. We know they just say it like it's a fact, even though it's not disputed. They won't bring up.
It's been debunked a long time ago.
They won't bring up any of it. So, but what there is an opportunity here. The last thing the ruling class, we are in class warfare, and people don't understand that. And so
it's about class, not race.
It's about class, and I'm not like dismissing there's a lot of racism.
Oh yeah, there's definitely racism.
And there's decades, if not centuries, of systemic racism for sure. But there's an opportunity for an opposition party to arise here, to align people along labor and do what like Fred Hampton did in Chicago. He was the leader of the Black Panther Party in the late 60s. He was a young man in his 20s. And he went to a neighborhood in Chicago that was nicknamed Hillbilly Harlem. It was a bunch of Southern whites that had moved up to Chicago for industrial work or jobs or whatever. And they kind of had this neighborhood. And it was a lot of Southern whites who were, some of them openly racist, who had, Confederate flags and the like. And Fred Hampton, young black man, head of the Black Panther Party, went to them and said, capitalism creates racism. Yep. Capitalism is dividing us. And he had the first ever Rainbow Coalition. And there were these Southern whites who were listening to this guy, some of them who changed their tune on racism or the Confederate flag or the whatever. And of course, then the FBI and the Chicago Police Department executed him.
And his family,
And I was getting chills before you said that. Like, I literally have goosebumps.
It's horrible if you go and actually hear what they did to them.
It's horrific, but it shows you anytime you unite,
they want to divide you. They want to make sure those uniters are out of the picture.
That's what you have to do. And it's an insane notion to think you can reform the Democratic Party from within.
Exactly.
You it's like reforming Coca-Cola from within. It's not going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
So,
Yeah.
I
I'm a
think-
little
Join the mafia.
concerned.
That was
I'm a
one of-
little concerned with the third party turnout last night, though.
Yeah, me too.
That
I haven't
doesn't give
seen
me
any
hope.
numbers. Well,
I
because-
haven't seen any overall numbers, but local numbers, from state to state, God, they don't look good.
Yeah, and it shows you how effective the machine is
Yep.
to look. They've done a great job the last 4 years of splintering and the left and getting people to fight on
The
the left.
fear.
The fear, and that's why Howie Hawkins. I'll give him credit. He wrote the Green New Deal, but also there's a lot of implications that there was shenanigans within the Green
There was.
Party.
Oh, there was a lot. I know
Yeah.
some people in New York that were involved in that deeply, and there it was a mess. And I wasn't even
was.
going to vote for any president. Leave it blank. I ended up voting Green just because I want to give some party a
Sure.
lift up, But dang,
But you see the tactic. I mean, they saw how powerful. I mean, how much sway and national notoriety Jill Stein has, and what that did. The votes, the money she raised, and they're like, "Uh-oh, we can't have that again."
Yeah.
So
Oh, shit. She got close to us.
yeah, she got close. So let's put in a guy nobody knows. Nobody knows who Howie Hawkins is, and there's an opportunity, but it's going to take somebody that has a big name. It's going to take some defections from the Democrats. It's going to take
Right.
some people like Tulsi or AOC or some. I don't think the AOC won't, because they've offered her the brass ring now. That's why she's acquiesced.
Oh,
to their
I
power.
call her a reality TV progressive, because that's
Yeah.
all she is. She doesn't actually fucking do anything. She just is like, oh, I'm on Twitch gaming. Come hang out with me. She's just a reality
she's all
TV
talk
progressive.
and nothing. But did you guys notice this?
I made Graham laugh. Haha.
Notice what?
The super chat. Hey, Mares, thank you
Oh,
for
yeah.
your super
Oh,
chat.
Thank you so
up?
much. Oz?
The ruling class wants Biden so bad, I'm rooting for Trump now. We officially live in an upside down world.
What's up?
I agree with that, because I found myself rooting for Trump, and that's really sad.
The only reason I'm rooting for Trump is because of the type of media that we're in. I know that under Biden, the censorship under Biden is going to become unbearable versus
Oh, yeah,
a Trump
absolutely.
administration.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
there's that.
you saw that just in terms of the last couple weeks of
Yeah.
people having Twitters and YouTube channels completely shut down for even just talking about Hunter Biden's laptop. I mean, I did a
What?
video on it, and I had to only put it on Rockfin,
Yeah.
which I'm grateful for Rockfin.
Me
And,
too.
Did Ron get his monetization back yet, Graham?
My understanding was no, not yet.
Yeah. Last I heard, no.
Yeah, what the
Still
hell,
can't
man?
monetize.
Yeah, they. I mean, look, Convo Couch got striked for a week.
Yep.
My subscription numbers have literally visibly dropped.
Right.
They're-
Yeah. Ours too.
Right.
It's like, and it's frustrating. I mean, and so that's the kind of censorship we're going to have. I mean, you look at what happened. Glenn Greenwald leaves The Intercept, which he helped start.
Yeah, wow.
So, and the Vote Any Blue Will Do crowd has no problem with censorship. They have no
At
problem.
all.
No, they beg for it. They scream
Two-
for it.
TYT is so frustrating that way. And mentioning TYT, not only are they taking subscriptions from people like you, suddenly I unsubscribed from TYT quite a while ago, Tom Hartman quite a while ago, Dave Pacman quite a while ago. Suddenly,
Bye.
I'm getting all their notifications. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And it says that I'm sub to them. So I had to unsub again. What the hell is that?
Dude,
Yeah.
that was like trying to unfollow Hillary Clinton in 2016. It was
my
fucking
God.
impossible. They would send you email after email. Are you
Oh,
sure
yeah.
you want to unsubscribe? Like, look, I don't know how many
Yes.
times I got to tell you. Yes. And I still get her
I did the same
emails.
thing.
so.
Oh my gosh, I still do too. But I get them from Trump too, and I tried to unsub from the Trump one too.
Well, what is this on the deck, Oz?
Oh, yeah, just quickly here. I wanted to get you guys' input. Peter Dow, who has kind of seen the light, I think, maybe. Biden can still put this out, but I am absolutely livid at the Democratic Party. Trump deserved repudiation, humiliation. Instead, he's close to winning outright. Now, do you all understand why the left is pissed at Pelosi's performative bullshit while she funds Trump's bills? I mean, Graham, you've talked about this, Jimmy, and the rest of them. I mean, for Christ's sake, what does it take to get through to these people?
No kidding. If Peter Dow can
I don't know. I mean, like the fact that Peter Dow woke up was like, that was wow. I was like, well,
Whoa.
anything's possible, you know? I mean, and I don't know what it's going to take. I mean, here's what's coming no matter who wins. The economic collapse is coming. It is coming no matter who wins. There's 30 million foreclosures that are coming. You can't get around that. And you can pass some stimulus bills and put some band-aids on this or that, but the Federal Reserve has already printed $9 trillion in the last 7 months.
And gave it to the oligarchs.
And gave it to the oligarchs. So like, it's literally, you got to understand that that's coming. And the diehard Trumpers who refuse to, you know, they think Trump never lies, and they just won't listen to it. And the Vote Any Blue Will Do people who refuse to see the crime and corruption of the Democratic Party, they're all going to be in breadlines. Like they're going to be standing in these long lines for food aid. They're going to be having rent strikes or whatever. They're all going to get evicted equally, and the sheriff's department's going to show up, and you know, that's when people are going to have to really make a choice, and maybe then they'll wake up to the fact that we are in class warfare, and they'll let go of this red state, blue state nonsense and let go. I don't know, because the billionaire ruling class, they have all the money, they control the media, they control the courts, they control both of these corrupt political parties. So they're very effective at getting your message out. So like when you listen to your family that's like, oh, Trump's great, or I listen to my neoliberal friends in LA, and they're just like, oh, Kamala's amazing. And I'm just like, you know, I see some people starting to slowly wake up. I was talking to a friend of mine who you know, someone I love and respect dearly. And this is the first time she's paid more attention. And she was like talking about going over her ballot. And she said, he took an hour. And she was in LA, and she said, look, I was going to vote for Jackie Lacey because, she was a black woman. But then she did more research. Now, Jackie Lacey, for those of you, she is the district attorney of Los Angeles. And she has not prosecuted one single cop for any, I mean, like an LAPD could just take a machine gun and just mow down 15 people, and they would somehow, because of the police union, right? So my friend, who's very liberal, looked over that, and she goes, you know, I did some research, and boy, Jackie Lacey doesn't have a great record and this and that. And I said, well, you know, Black Lives Matter has been protesting outside Jackie Lacey's office every Wednesday for the last like 2 years. And she goes, really? I go, yeah. So, and she goes, my first instinct was to vote for her because, she's a woman of color. Of course I'm going to vote for her. But then I did the research and I spent the time. And so she voted, for Gascon, her opposition. And that was one conversation where I went, well, maybe more people are paying attention. Maybe more people are they're going to be forced to pay attention. I mean, they're just going to be forced to, because, and one thing I said to my friend, I said, did you know that LAPD gets 54% of the operating budget of all of Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Really? I go, $3.1 billion. I go, that's what needs to, she was like, wow. So I don't know. I think some people are slowly going to wake up. The people that want to go back to brunch, they're going to be kicked out of brunch pretty quickly when the economy collapses and the dollar's worth a bag of lint. So,
Exactly.
I don't know. I think America, again, is a nation of addicts, and they're addicted to either the Fox News red state drug or the blue state
pill.
MSNBC pill. You know what I mean? They're just like, half the country's a heroin addict and half the country's smoking crack. I mean, it's just like, I don't know.
Well, in Oregon, that won't matter, though, because yesterday legal drugs across the board passed in Oregon, right?
Yeah, that's the other thing, too. And it shows you, and I don't know that the pundits on the corporate media are going to recognize this, but all of these progressive ballot measures keep getting passed. So, like, the people want these things, but these two corrupt parties offer them nothing. And look, the Whigs were a very powerful party, and they abandoned the people, and they went for the money, and they collapsed. You know, the Federalists. I mean, it's like all these parties. So it's time for a real third party, an obstructionist party, and it needs to be fueled with labor.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We talk about that daily on this show. So what you're seeing behind us is a map of the swing states still in play. We're hearing some of them are being called this morning, like Michigan supposedly went to Biden. But we'll see. Maybe by the end of the day, we'll have a little bit clearer picture of what's going on.
Absolutely.
So they've called Wisconsin for Biden?
Yes,
No,
I think-
Michigan, but most likely it'll go,
Yeah.
Wisconsin most likely will go to Biden.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a super chat again. Thank you, Mona. Hardlands Mona. Oh, do you want me to read it from Hardlands Mona? Just
Yeah, you
down,
started
you
it.
guys.
You finish it.
I will. Thanks to Convo Couch, the Dems and Biden are definitely cheating. Of course, our elections have been a sham for a while, though. Also, hi, Graham.
Hey, Mona,
Yeah.
what's up, sweetie? I hope you're doing well.
Yeah,
Combo Couch has done an amazing job.
Yes,
If
they
you guys
have.
watched their coverage yesterday, Pasta being out at those polling stations, asking the hard questions and trying to get answers of what the hell is actually going on with our vote count in this country.
There were way too many cool coverages of the election this year. It was so hard bouncing between all of them.
It was.
Yeah, and what I see here now too is something we've been talking about for months, if not years, is that we've had calls for an independent media banding together. It's naturally happening because we support Graham's show. We support the real progressive shows, Convo Couch and Jimmy and Ron, and it's naturally happening. It's not a formal thing, but it is where we need to go. And this is what we want to continue doing. It's like I told Fee and Pasta yesterday and Johnny, if you guys win, make headroads, we win. We're all in this together. And this is our strength. This is what's talking to, we are labor. We are the press. So when people get that in their head and start moving forward, that's what we want to do. So, support
And sticking
everybody.
together
Yeah,
as independent
we
media,
have to.
we have to
have
to work
to.
together because of all the suppression of our channels. Pat the Batman fan just did another quick. I love this. We're getting so many super chats because of you, Graham.
Aw.
Graham?
Pat the Batman fan, you know well. Get rid of this Elwood clown already.
Yeah.
Pat, you're such a joker.
Yeah. Pat comes on the show quite a bit, Graham. He does our movies suggestion and review on Beauty and the Boomer on Saturday nights. He's a lot of fun. So
He started out on my show.
yes, he
a lot.
did.
I've known Pat for years.
Yeah.
He actually was the sound guy at the Hollywood Improv, and we became friends.
Nice.
And we're both huge Batman fans. He actually gave me this really cool. He should, I know he was getting rid of some stuff, but there was a while there where he could have opened a Batman memorabilia museum.
Yeah, he's give us a tour.
I'm not
on my
shocked.
show-
I'm not
on my
shocked by
channel. There's
Yeah,
a huge. He showed us his Batcave, and it's pretty cool.
So also the logos that are on my show, Pat did the PV logo and the political
Really?
vigilante graphic. Yeah, that's Pat. Pat.
Right.
Oh, we're going to have to put you to work, Pat.
Yeah,
No
really.
kidding.
Really.
Yeah,
Pat.
absolutely. Vegematic is in the house.
Hey,
I'm
Veg.
sorry.
Veg.
I haven't seen Veg for a while. He disappears now and then, kind of like I did.
Hey,
But-
we all have to lay low occasionally.
Yeah, I'm just really happy to see him here today.
Yeah, there's
So this picture behind us, Flint went red yesterday.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, I'm so shocked.
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, let's get a glass of water and just show everybody
Ah,
what
Brian's here. Hi,
what a
Brian.
nut we are.
There's so many people here. Melissa and Brent McKinney and Keith Hayes, Franklin, of course. Sorry. I gotta give shout outs to our people. They are who make us.
We
so.
do, yeah,
right.
absolutely. We appreciate that too. I just have to say, Hardlands Monas wants us to get Richie Medhurst on. Well, I don't know if we're up to that yet, but we hope so. we love Pappy, Richie, and he's really passionate. And I think Shanda and him could burn down the whole world together. So
Probably.
that would
I'm
be
holding
great.
back this morning. I'm
Yeah.
containing it.
All right, cool.
Jeffrey Denon. Oh, Jay Campbell. We have another super chat.
Yeah, we've got a lot of your folks in here too, Graham. I see. We recognize each other. We follow everybody around,
And this,
and this is supporting independent media, which you are the press. You are the
Yeah.
press, Graham, and so is everybody else. So we want to thank you for that as well.
Two new super chats.
Yeah.
J9 Campbell. I am Bane. Are you ready to tangle political vigilante? And Osama, where's Shatner?
Shatner's
I love
supposed to
your
be
Shatner imitation, by the way. I think everybody does. I think that's a favorite.
It is.
Yeah,
it is
it
a favorite
absolutely
of mine.
is.
Definitely.
Absolutely is. Osama's in here. He just dropped one too.
Yeah.
And Osama's a great musician. We appreciate that so
Yes,
much.
he's the
Osama.
one that did my intro music to the Natural Progressive.
Yeah,
by the way.
Nice.
it's really great. Cheese Man's here. Cheese Man will show everybody how to eat right.
Yes,
Vegan,
he will.
vegan like Graham. Graham, you're a full vegan too,
vegan
right?
Gardener.
Yeah.
And he's a gardener like me.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little bit of all of us.
Right
And the
on.
cheese man.
The cheesy man. Okay, what do we got? What do we got here, there, Shanda?
Oh, Veg just threw us $10.
Oh, of course
now.
he
I
did.
mean,
Veg.
it's just not stopping.
Yeah.
Everyone knows each other in here. That's the absolute truth.
That's because we're fam. We're fam. So
we
this
are
is
family. Okay,
This
go
is
ahead.
Loot Every Walmart. Beth Lynch, 2020. Going to be fabulous watching the libs blame everyone in every state of every ID for the next 4 years if Biden loses, rather than even taking one passing glance at their outmodeled 90 era conservatives. And that's just exactly what I was saying a little while ago. You know,
Yeah.
the neo-lib return. So this is Kyle's take from this morning. You can tell he's just waking up off of his Joe Rogan stint yesterday, which if you tuned in, it was a very good conversation.
Yeah, I was trying to watch that too.
That Kyle's
so
got
much.
a very good point that he's been making for the last few days, so I'm going to let him make it.
Yeah, we cut your stuff in here too, Graham, so don't feel butthurt or let out.
you-
We
you're
love
all-
your
It's
It's all
stuff.
right, man. It's all right.
We do that. We love you
You're
guys.
on here all the time.
Graham doesn't get butthurt very easily.
I know.
I don't know if you noticed that.
I got a strong butt.
Yep,
Wow. wow. Okay.
that was
so,
the perfect reaction.
Let me catch everybody up
Yeah.
on what's happening. I'm sure you've been following it very closely. But again, I feel like the video I did yesterday, as well as the stuff I said on Rogan about how the votes are counted, is more important than ever. And everybody is losing their goddamn collective minds at the result. So we talked about this. We, in fact, talked about this weeks ago. Data analysts said, hey, there's this scenario that could probably unfold, maybe even possibly unfold, called the Red Mirage. And the Red Mirage idea is when they count on election day and they count the votes from that day, it's going to look like the Republicans are doing better than they actually are. And it's going to look like Trump is doing better than he actually is. So lo and behold, what's going on now? The upper Midwest states had Trump leading pretty much all last night. And people on Twitter, you know, in my world, were like, oh my God, he's going to do it again. He's going to pull a 2016 again. Listen, all the votes that are left to be counted are overwhelmingly Democratic votes. That's an ironclad fact. It's the mail-in ballots. I told you, in these states, they first count the votes on election day. That was guaranteed to be overwhelmingly pro-Trump because Republicans vote more on election day. The stuff coming in now, it's mail-in votes. Biden's within 2 points of Trump in Georgia, and basically all they have left to count is like the Atlanta area and other city areas, which are super Democratic. So everybody needs to understand, you would rather be Joe Biden right now than Donald Trump, because he just took the lead in Wisconsin. That's going to be called for Biden shortly. Just took the lead in Michigan. It's going to be called for Biden shortly. Pennsylvania, a lot of people were thinking, oh my God, it's totally gone. Again, all the votes that need to be counted are the mail-in votes, and so even though he was down like 5 or 6 points last night, the more those votes come in, the more Biden's going to pick up on Trump. Now, is it possible Trump somehow hangs on there and wins Pennsylvania? Sure. But even if Trump wins Pennsylvania, the map is still more favorable to Biden. So I want to give you some scenarios here as to how it's going to unfold. Worst case scenario I have here is 271 for Biden. 271 for Biden. And in this instance, he loses Pennsylvania, he loses Georgia, he already lost Florida, but he wins Arizona, he wins Wisconsin, he wins Michigan, and so he's at 271 if you do that. So that's it. That's game, set, match, even though he just barely ekes over the edge. Now,
Yeah, that was a great breakdown by Kyle. But I love that Kyle called this. He said, look, it's the way they're going to count these ballots. He said it on Rogan yesterday before these counts started even coming in, that there was going to be this false red wave that came through, but it's because of the way that they're counting.
I think we all kind of knew that.
Right. I think so too.
But
Yeah, I think when you have, I mean, when you had whatever it was, 96 million vote by mail ballots cast, and you had, when you broke and you go into those maps and you look at the counties, the city counties have the most in a lot of these. I mean, that's obviously where all the majority of the population is. And it's like, whoa, all these red, look at Trump's dominating all these red counties, but that's like rural areas where there's not as many people. So I think, and this isn't some sweeping mandate that everybody loves Biden. I think it was just more people are like, I remember talking about it with Ron Placone on my show for months of like, the only way Trump could really lose is if he mishandles COVID, which he has. He did. He completely mishandled it. So, and it's cost people their lives. And then when the numbers were spiking in all of these red states, and they're saying 700 COVID deaths were tied to Trump rallies or whatever, like people not wearing their masks, and then he gets it. I think, the fraction of his following that are just the crazy cult people, they're never going to change their mind. They're like cult people. But the people who are like on the fence or moderate Republicans or whatever saw that and went, oh man. And that's, the Democrats said, we'll vote for this pro-choice Republican Joe Biden, which is what they ran as a Republican versus the more fascisty. Like we're not. So if Trump loses, we defeated overt fascism, and then we're going to walk in covert fascism. So it's
Now that if Biden gets it, everything will just happen behind your backs, and he'll put nice words, or he'll step down and Kamala will be president.
It'll be more presidential than
it'll be more presidential, and I mean,
I don't think Biden will make it through the first term. I think it'll Kamala.
Oh hell no! He'll be like, that was first week.
I'm thinking pretty fast.
Yeah,
it's going to happen pretty fast.
Yeah.
Because they wanted Kamala, that was their choice from the beginning.
Was their choice. It was the donor's choice. We knew that 2 years ago when she was out in the Hamptons fundraising. Mm-hmm. Hillary handpicked her. I mean, even if you look at mainstream media like SNL, Saturday Night Live, lately they bring Harris's character in as the grown-up in the room, almost laying it out as she will be the president. But as a woman, can I just say it chaps my ass that a woman's going to get there by default, not from her hard work and the support of the American people.
I agree. As a woman, I agree with that 100%. And by not having being on the right side of the issues.
Yeah.
Also, that's another.
Well, she'll be on whatever issue. It just depends on what side of her mouth she's talking out of.
Yeah, it's not that she'll do anything about those. The ones that we agree with, she may say, it'll be all talk, no action on anything we want. Go with the wind. Yeah.
So this is a tweet talking about Florida voters pulling the lever for a minimum wage increase at the same time that Biden loses Florida. So yeah, exactly. What does this say about the Democratic Party?
Yeah, Graham touched on that a little earlier. I wanted to show this one. You brought this, Shanda. Remember, we've been talking about this for months. I don't believe Shahid Buttar. We didn't believe he had a chance in hell from way back when. Look at the financial demographic of Nancy Pelosi's area. They are not going to vote for Shahid Buttar. That was our contention. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, her district is one of the wealthiest districts in the country, and so she just goes to this handful of wealthy people that fund her. That's the reason she's worth over $100 million. That's why she basically did an ad for an ice cream company that's donated to the Democratic Party. That's what that whole ice cream thing was just a product placement, like some Instagram model, doing a shuffle dance, holding up a hard seltzer or whatever. Like, it was just preposterous. So, but you can't, that part of Northern California, those are the wealthy Silicon Valley people who are not, they're part of the ruling class. They're not good people just because they wear skateboard shoes and hoodies and Star Wars shirts or whatever. They're still horrible, unelected tech billionaires that could fix the world's problems with their own bank accounts and refuse to do so. So that's who supports Nancy Pelosi. And yeah, I would have liked to seen Shahid Buttar win, but
God, I thought he would get more support than what he got, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping so.
Shanda brought some good news this morning.
Oh yeah, so Jon Stewart is coming back to TV. He's going to have a weekly show, and I got to ask why? Why? Because there's a huge void. You can't tell me that Noah and the Daily Show or Colbert or any of these people that spun off are even covering anything progressive anymore. It's all mainstream neo-lib talking points that they've been shoving. So now there's an opening for John to come back.
I hope he
Yeah,
uses
he's
it
still
well.
kind of pushing the neo-lib thing a little bit.
I think he's just going to be. It's going to be more neoliberal comedian Hollywood
Right.
nonsense.
I
Which leaves a
miss
huge
Jon
void that we need to fill as independent
Yeah,
media.
that's our job to fill that void.
Yeah, Graham, more shows, man.
Yeah, Graham, pump out more
Graham's
shows.
working his butt off. Have
I
you
know
seen
he
how many
is.
things he's been on
Oh
lately?
my God,
Crap.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, how do you do it, man? It's all those green milkshakes or
I
vegan
guess
shakes.
I've been going live like 5 days a week since the pandemic started. And
Yep,
some of
working your butt off.
and dropping 2 to 3 clips a day, and I'm still just like barely functioning. And it's like, oh man, I want to do more like political comedy and
Yeah,
stuff like that, but it's hard when I'm sort of isolated. And I don't know what. Maybe I'm gonna like revamp the format of my show or something. I don't know what it's gonna take, but I'm
Who's being alerted?
Amber alert on my phone, and it won't shut up.
okay.
Is Biden missing? Is Biden
Oh, I
missing? Did he
wish.
wander off from the camp?
yeah, shit.
I wish.
Thought that was the air raid shelter there. So
Oh
yeah,
my gosh!
everybody
Quiet.
throw it out the window. Everybody, please.
I guarantee you they're not in Grantsville. Okay,
Yeah.
come on.
And when we go over, we do try and drop Graham a $5 or a $10 when we do, and that helps him, like it does
Thank
all of
you.
our sisters and brothers in social media.
Oh yeah,
And,
Brent McKinney. Thank you. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. Franklin, the pop out's coming up on the chat in the Zoom. Can you just hold it for a little bit? And that'd be great. We don't want to give Graham a mustache or a goatee. Anyway, yeah. So we're moving along here. This is from Fee last night. We've got this.
Oh, we love you.
Yeah, we will share more tomorrow, but here's my prediction. I still think PA and NC could go red, especially PA and MI could go blue. As of now, here's my prediction. I realize this contradicts most polls, but most polls were wrong in 2016. States to watch are, of course, PA, MI, Wisconsin, North Carolina. And she's got 270 for the Republicans and 268 for the Democrats. Does that sound familiar, ladies?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think me and Fee were on the same page.
Yeah, I think so too.
As far as
Is that,
you-
yeah.
yeah.
So you,
and our predictions, but I might be wrong now. I mean, I'm doubting myself now.
yeah.
Yep.
So anyway,
This is a tweet from Nomiki Kans. She says somehow Democrats found themselves losing congressional seats in blue states in a presidential year with massive record turnout and historical unpopular Republican incumbent in office. This is unheard of.
yes.
Yeah, well, she probably shouldn't have supported the neo-libs as well. I mean, these people, Emma Vigeland, Nomiki
Emma,
Kans,
yeah.
they lost their way. They've lost their way. And
The fear got him, Chris.
yes,
It was Trump
they-
derangement syndrome.
If they would have just stuck to the true progressive line and oh my God, no. Hi, Chris
Yeah.
Foster. So, one of my favorite.
If we could
peeps.
actually hold a true progressive line, we might actually get somewhere, but we never do, and we
No,
haven't
they
yet.
never do. They always swap it, and the real progressive gets cheated, and then they go to the other person. Yeah,
And they run these corporate Democrats against like incumbent Republicans.
Yeah.
I mean, look who they ran against, Mitch McConnell. I mean, it's just like that's, and then the Nomiki Kans and Emma's of the world who have said some good things, have done some good things, but then when they, like you say, they get scared, Trump derangement syndrome scares them into this they lean more this vote any blue will do, and this is what you get. You can't just say Trump bad, Republicans bad, and then offer nothing. You just say your thing's bad. You can't. You
Yeah.
have to offer like I'm going to give you
Exactly.
policies and literally, especially now, all these people are out of work. All these people they're furloughed. Even people that are working at home. Everybody's like, even if you are working, you're scared. You're nervous. You don't know what's going to happen. I mean,
Yeah.
I look at myself. I mean, I can't go on the. I look at stand-up comics. They can't go on the road. So some comics that don't have YouTube or podcasting money are forced to go on the road, which I think they're putting themselves at risk.
Absolutely.
And then even people such as myself or Ron or whatever, like we're working. We've been working. I've been making money during this. Thank God for my YouTube channel. But like, look, man, I got to watch Patreon and YouTube like the stock market. And when they go down, there's no stimulus bill. So my Patreon money's gone down, which I completely understand.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I lost my job during all of this.
Yes,
because I am high risk. If I go out into the workplace, especially in this state where no one wants to wear a mask.
It's scary. And so
I'm not going out unless I'm going to the doctor, period. And I haven't left my house since March, except for to go to the doctor.
Yeah, I'm very limited too. I'm leaving the house.
And that's like, and so if you had a politician come forward and say, I'm going to give you Medicare for all, right? I'm going to do $15 an hour minimum wage. I mean, we've got the working poor in this country who we're barely getting by working, and then that job's been shut down, or that industry's gone, or that restaurant's closed, or that restaurant's only at 50% capacity or whatever. And, you know, anyone in hospitality, anyone in the travel industry, all these states are like, we got to open up. Even if you do open up, who's coming? Who's got money to travel? Who's got money to go to Disneyland or wherever? Like, nobody has money for that. And so you need politicians to come in here and give, like, just basic pocketbook, like, I'm going to give you free healthcare. So now so if you don't have health insurance, you don't have to worry. If you do have health insurance, I'm taking that bill off the table now. You don't have to pay for that.
Yeah, UBI. Medicare for all. And, you know, it would replace people. This is what people, especially in my Republican state, don't understand. If you give people UBI, you get rid of all the administration of welfare programs, you get rid of all the administration of Social Security. It all goes into one. It's like Social Security for all. And you have one program to administrate. You don't have to worry about unemployment insurance. That would go away. It would be one program to cover everything. It would be so much less expensive, and people would do well, and people are still going to want to go to work because they're going to want to make more money than that. So it's a stupid conclusion to say that people will not go to work if they do that.
Yeah,
so,
you've also got like 85% of all student loans are federal, which means the president, by executive order, doesn't need Congress or the Senate, can just sign a bill and those loans are gone, which would infuse trillions of dollars back into the economy. Imagine if you were sitting at home and you had crushing student loan debt and you either didn't have insurance or you had really expensive insurance, and a politician came in here and said, I'm going to take care of those things for you. You'd vote for them. You'd vote for that politician. You know, you'd vote for $15 minimum wage, just like the residents of Florida did overwhelmingly. And the
except
Democrats,
for here in Utah, then not so much.
Except for in Utah, yeah, exactly. So we're getting to the White Bee. So we give out a New York Slimes White Bee Award. This White Bee goes out to those speaking the truth. And we've got a lot of white bees because there was a lot of truth dropped last night. First one out is Lee Camp. For those extremely nervous about tonight's results, you don't need to be. Most of America's empire will remain the same. Endless war, Wall Street domination, environmental destruction, poor people oppressed, a massive prison state, and climate chaos.
Thank you, Lee Camp, for truth spoken.
Chris, you want to read this one for me?
Sure. If Joe Biden loses the most slam dunk election in history, it will signal the death of the Democratic establishment. They will have lost not one, but two elections to a neo-fascist by running an uninspiring neoliberal corporatist who campaign against popular progressive policies.
Amen. Ryan Knight.
Oh, yeah.
Caitlin Johnstone, anti-fascists who support Biden should call themselves arguably slight or less fascist.
Good one, Caitlin. Oh, look.
Yeah, there's a no-brainer.
After fucking 1 o'clock.
Yeah, we're just about ready to wrap. We have.
Damn, it was too short. It was too fun.
Yeah, well, it's because we have such quality people in here, and you know that's the way it goes.
This is much more. Can I do a PSA before we leave after this?
Sure, just absolutely. This is Shanda's new creation. We've had this going for about a week now, and I'm so proud of this. Thank you, Shanda.
Well, this is a good one. It's a good one. Because Fee wins our New York Slime White Bee Award like every damn day for the last 6 months. I finally just created her own segment called Fee Says. So this is what Fee says. I want all people who didn't believe us pass on polls to look at what's happening. Okay, it didn't leave us in the past. Okay, large counties in Wisconsin, Michigan, Florida all went red. We told you. How do we know more than the billionaire corporate media? Because we have a pulse on the people on the ground, and that's exactly it. Convo Couch is on the ground, doing the work, talking to the people, not just listening to talking pundits.
Yep.
Absolutely. If you, this is a follow up to that. If you push for censorship, you're pushing fascism. If you push for censorship, you're pushing fascism. If you push for censorship, you're pushing fascism. If you, I think we get the point, Fee. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello, TYT. Gosh, her name escapes me because I don't like it that
Anna?
much. Anna Kasparian. Oh.
Yeah,
Kasparian?
Anna's got that. What? Before we head out, Graham, what's your view on censorship, and how soon before they kick all of us off of the YouTube and the other ones, or is that even a contention?
Well, yeah, it's a matter of time. It's one of the reasons why I started doubling down on Rockfin over a year ago and just putting all my videos up there, and then started live streaming when the pandemic hit, and putting up exclusive content that people can only get on Rockfin, because that has been my backup plan this whole time. And I started paying more attention to cryptocurrency, which everyone should pay attention to, because when the dollar collapses and there's a run on the banks, you're not going to be able to get all your money, and you're going to want to go with decentralized currency. And like, I've almost felt like it's a matter of time, and I'm going to just keep going on YouTube as long as I can, but knowing that this is coming. I'm looking at another platform, Odyssey, and they've reached out to me, and they're a crypto platform. So it's so flagrant, and some days it's a little disheartening, even though you kind of know it's coming. When it actually does, it's still like, so, especially if Biden's in the White House and we start, his son's laptop isn't going away. And not at least
No, I keep saying that too. I'm glad you agree. Yes.
So I haven't even dug into that yet. I mean, I've a little bit, but I've been spending time on Ghislaine Maxwell's deposition.
Me too. I read the whole thing.
Oh, it's fun reading. Oh,
He
it's
went
great.
over it on his last show.
What's a
with Lee
sex
Camp.
toy?
Yeah.
It was on RT Lee Camp. What do you call that show? What does Lee Camp call it?
Redacted tonight.
Redacted.
No, but the particular.
Moment of clarity, which I don't know.
No, the one he does with Graham.
Oh, government secrets.
Yeah, government secrets. Yeah. Okay, that one.
Yeah. So
was-
I think ultimately with a Biden presidency, when we start really going after Biden, and pointing out his lies and corruption, which we'll have plenty of.
Which they have plenty of evidence. Yeah.
There's plenty of evidence. Then we're going to really start getting censored because,
But don't worry, Bernie's going to put his feet to the fire and put out legislation and push to get it done after he has zero leverage. That's going to happen, right?
Yeah, we'll push Biden to the left because that'll happen. Because let's see, Obama didn't go to the left, Clinton didn't go to the left, Jimmy Carter only had one term.
Right.
They expanded the war in Vietnam, certainly didn't go to the left. JFK really wanted to go to the left. They put a bullet in his head and killed his brother for just thinking about going to the left.
Right.
And Truman didn't go to the left. So FDR is the last time we had a president go to the left because he started
After
it.
getting elected, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I just have a quick question. What happened with ranked choice voting across the country last night? I haven't seen anything. Has anybody else?
I'm not sure. Some states, I don't know. That's one thing I'm gonna do before I go live today is see like where all these like ballot measures and down ballot.
Marijuana was the big winner.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Suzanne Murphy said she thought that it passed in Massachusetts, so I hope it did. So again,
Okay.
yeah, we're running now. Graham, you want to plug the Political Vigilante and any other projects you got going? Then we'll go to Chris.
Yeah, please go to GrahamElwood.com. You can watch my show on YouTube and rockfin.com/GrahamElwood, the political vigilante. Anybody watching, go to Rockfin. It's free to sign up. All my videos are there. They're ad-free on Rockfin. And if you do the $10 premium, you get my bonus content, this show's bonus content. You get everybody on the platform's bonus content. It's blockchain, it's cryptocurrency. It can't be bought out by a big company like Google. It's the future. And it's where, especially Rockfin specifically, which is really cultivating this indie media and MMA, which I like both. So there's great people over there. Whitney Webb is over there. Lee Camp is coming over to Rockfin. Dave Anthony from the Dollop, Jimmy Dore is there, Richard
Us.
Medhurst, you guys are there.
Yeah.
Convo Couch, Nico House, like all of your favorite shows are there.
Yep.
And so I always say vote with your dollars on my show. And that's a place you want to give that company your money versus Google.
Yeah, that's our primary now. We're primary Rockfin, and again, every dollar you throw at Graham, actually, it comes to us too in spirit as support. So just keep supporting the Rockfin people as much as possible. Watch it over there if you can. Please go over there and sign up for whichever show you can, and you get the full content. Thank you so much again, Graham and Chris.
Yeah, thank
can
you, Graham. Thank
you want to give us a little plug there on what's going on with you?
Yeah, no, this is just really quick because it was on the news that state OSHA programs are not actually processing complaints from OSHA violations, like not being safe with, like, say, not wearing
COVID.
masks, not putting their workers' safety first as far as the COVID virus goes. I just want to give you this one little tip as someone who's been through a fight with OSHA. File through the federal government, not your state agency. That way it will be dual filed, and they will have to pay attention to it. They will have to take care of it. So that's what my little PSA for anyone who might be going through something like that with their work not being safe with the COVID virus. So
Great
that's
PSA. Graham, it was awesome to meet you. Thank you so much for coming
Thanks,
on
guys.
The Dive. And hey, you guys can catch Oz and I on Beauty and the Boomer on Saturday night, where we just sit around, have a few drinks, and talk some shit. So
it's
tune
fun. It's a fun time.
It is a fun time again, and tonight we've got the Progressive Update with Amos Elroy at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, and tomorrow night's the Healthcare Forum for Our Revolution. That would be with Amber King, and then Friday morning the Dive, and then Saturday from Germany, No Joke with Marcus and crew, and then again Beauty and the Boomer. What are we going out with here, Shanda?
this is a great cover of Pink Floyd's Time. I love this girl. She's got an amazing voice.
Okay, let's go for the copyright block. Everybody, thank you so much.
Graham.
Have a great
Yeah,
day.
Thanks, Graham.
Thanks, Graham. See you guys. Shave them. Shave your knuckles for
shave
justice.
those knuckles
Shave
for
the
justice.
Yeah, shave your knuckles for justice. And your toe knuckles, too. Bye.
Taking away the moments that make up a dull day. Fritzer and waste the hours in an offhand way. Kicking around on a piece of ground in your hometown. Waiting for someone or something to show you the way. Tired of lying in
Awesome.